Have you ever opened Twitter or Instagram early in the morning, still sleepy, haven't had time to wash your face, and then suddenly you see a photo of Taehyung at the gym, his clothes tight, his muscles clearly visible like the sculptures of Greek gods? Yes, that's not a dream. It was real. And from that moment on, the internet, especially the world of Pyramys, was in chaos. The rising temperature wasn't because of global warming, but because Kim Taehyung, v BTS, was showing off his muscles at the gym. It's crazy. So brace yourself before you continue, because this story will make you exercise your heart. So the story goes, recently, a photo circulated that was strongly suspected to be Taehyung lifting weights at the gym. Not just any old workout, but his biceps, bro, they're bulging, tense, and perfectly formed. His neck also looks more muscular, his jaw is firm, and most importantly, his expression is serious, focused, but there's a cool aura that makes people immediately salivate involuntarily. Well, this photo went viral in seconds. Not hours, but seconds. Armies from all over the world immediately theorized, speculated, and some even became anatomists, just to explain the shape of Taehyung's muscles from various angles. But wait, it's not just about Taehyung's sexy gym photos. If you think it's just about visuals and showing off your muscles, you're wrong. Because behind that one photo, there are layers of interesting theories that show how an idol like Taehyung takes care of his body not just for looks, but also for stage performance, mental balance, and even his philosophy of life. Theoretically, physical activities like weightlifting or gym workouts play a huge role in supporting the performance of a world-class entertainer like V. You can imagine he has a super busy schedule. Recordings, photo shoots, super intense dance training, not to mention the mandatory military service he's currently undergoing. Well, this gym training is not just for body shape to look good, but also to hone stamina, muscle endurance, and even emotional stability. Physiologically, when someone lifts weights, the body releases endorphins, aka happy hormones, which make the mood more stable and the mind clearer. That's why so many of the world's top celebrities have made the gym not just a routine, but a ritual to keep their lives stable. And Taehyung has always been known to have a hidden perfectionist side. Although he comes across as chill, playful, if you look at his career from the beginning, you'll know how serious he is about building his image and quality. From vocals, acting, fashion, to her physique, she polishes everything. So don't be surprised if you suddenly see him getting muscular. That's not a coincidence. It's the result of hard work that he may have been secretly saving. Because yes, Taehyung is not the type of person who likes to show off his progress. He's the type who will show up when it's finished and amaze everyone without many words. Going back to the gym photo, armies immediately dissected the gym background, the type of dumbbell, and even the direction of light and shadow on Taehyung's body to confirm its authenticity. Is this a fandom community or a forensics team? But we can also see how strong the bond between Taehyung and his fans is. They're not just fans, they've grown together. When Taehyung improves himself, the fans are also motivated to be the best version of themselves. And that, let's be honest, is not something that every celebrity can create. It takes a strong character, natural charisma, and sincerity. And don't forget, Taehyung is currently serving in the military. Many were surprised that this gym photo appeared in the middle of his service. But that's where it gets interesting. Because in the military, Taehyung can't just exist on social media. So most likely, this photo was taken before he departed, and it's just spreading now. Or it could be an official photo deliberately released by the agency or someone close to Taehyung as a form of update that he is fine and still actively maintaining his condition. Either way, this photo has armies shaking in their boots and netizens arguing with each other about Taehyung's gym era. When it comes to Korean pop culture, this kind of idol physical transformation is not uncommon. Many male idols have started to shape their bodies as a symbol of maturity, strength, and liberation from the soft boy image that used to dominate. And Taehyung, with his increasingly masculine and strong visual changes, seems to represent that transition. He's not just a singer with a distinctive baritone voice, not just an actor with a somber gaze, but now he's also a man who physically exudes strength, discipline, and self-control. And speaking of upgrading yourself, you have to understand one important thing that is now more relevant than ever. Military service is not just a temporary leave phase for idols. For taehyung and the rest of BTS, it's a sort of turning point A moment where you're separated from the spotlight, you shed the superstar label, and you're back to basics as an ordinary man serving his country. But the funny thing is, it's from behind the military walls that we're given little clues about how taehyung maintains his existence. Not through words, not through live, but through one powerful gym photo. It's simple, but the impact is long. The presence of the photo is like a silent message. I still exist. I'm still growing. I'm not stopping. And that's enough to make fans feel connected again in the midst of a hiatus. Because for armies, losing access to taehyung during the WOML is not an easy thing. You're used to seeing him every week, interacting on Weverse, updating on Instagram, random but addictive midnight live. Now, silence. But the photo appeared as a strong form of emotional bridge, as if taehyung was saying, "Don't worry, I'm still here. And I'll be back later with a stronger version." You should also know, the physical and mental process that you go through during the draft is no joke. In South Korea, basic military training is hard. From waking up at 5 a.m., push-ups, cross-country running, to combat simulations. All of that builds the body naturally. But taehyung is definitely not the type to settle for standard. He doesn't just follow the system. He adds to his own training. He lifts weights, he pushes his limits, and the result? That's right, the muscles that appeared in the viral photo weren't the result of magic. It's the result of discipline and mental steel that he's been quietly honing. And this also connects to the big narrative that is developing in the K-pop world, the post-boyish idol era. Many male idols have now begun to leave behind the soft, innocent, and cute image, shifting to a more mature, tough, and even militaristic persona. Strong visuals, defined muscles, all part of a more mature rebranding process. And taehyung, without saying much, jumped right into this narrative. But in his own style. Still calm. But the visuals? It hits the heart. Interestingly, this transformation has also made many armies reflect. Many fans said they were inspired to start taking care of their bodies, exercise, and even change their mindset. Because when you see your idols working hard not for popularity, but for discipline and self-improvement, it's contagious. You can feel the energy, especially if your idol is taehyung, who is known for always being true to himself, doesn't like imaging, and has a powerful low-key character. You think it's just about muscles? No, bro. It's about a silent statement that one can still grow even when they're no longer in the spotlight. That the internal process, which is not seen by the public, often has the biggest effect. And that's what makes many fans even more amazed. Because taehyung sets an example that you can stay strong, stay cool, and stay influential even if you're not active on social media every day. And honestly, this is all an unofficial teaser. You can imagine when taehyung comes back from the army and reappears on stage with a more athletic body, a more focused mentality, and a sharper aura. That's not just a comeback. It would be a reincarnation. Taehyung 2.0, a calmer, stronger, and more mature version. And it all started with one gym photo. So, if you still think this is just about showing off your body, you're missing the point. This is a narrative of growth, a narrative of maturation. And perhaps it's a new chapter for the Kim Taehyung we've come to know as the one with the piercing gaze and soft voice, who is now a military man with concrete muscles and a granite-hard mentality. Not just a visual, but a symbol. Because in the end, physical transformation is just the surface. What matters more is the intention and character behind it. And taehyung, with all his silence, has shown that he's still moving, still alive, and still an inspiration, even without saying anything.